Now we're going to look at some ways to help support the sleep environment. So let's talk about how our daily routines and stressors can impact sleep. Overstimulation before bed, like high energy activities, can really help the brain stay alert and make it harder to fall asleep. Physical activity is important too. Too little movement throughout the day can lead to that poor sleep as well. But vigorous exercise before bed can also delay sleep onset. Stress and anxiety from school, friendships, or family can lead into racing thoughts, making it difficult for children to settle. Caffeine and sugar also late in the day can also help keep the body from into that heightened state of alertness and also interfere with sleep. And think about chocolate too. There's caffeine in there. And finally, moving from a busy day straight into bed without time to wind down and just really leaves the mind on. And then instead of finding that place for rest. Simple strategies like creating a calming bedtime routine, limiting that late day caffeine, chocolate, and sugar, and setting aside 20 to 30 minutes for quiet activities can help children transition their busy day into a restful sleep. Small adjustments to their daily routine can also have that big impact on how well kids sleep and how rested they feel in the morning. Now we're going to spend some time talking about how to build a co-regulated bedtime routine. So first we'll start with the prep work, and this is about an hour before ideally. If it's a half hour, then that's all you have, but ideally an hour. And at this time, you want to start dimming the lights to signal to your child's brain that it's time to slow down and turning off screens like TVs, tablets, and phones because the blue light can really interfere with the melatonin production, the hormone that really helps us sleep. If your child is hungry, offer a light, calming snack, something like a banana, warm milk, or a crunchy or chewy snack that they can, or something that they can drink from a straw. Make sure again to keep away from that caffeine and sugar at a minimum to this hour. Next, about 30 minutes before the bedtime routine, start with these routine steps. So these would include like a bath or shower, brushing your teeth, and using the washroom. And then you want to go with getting your pajamas on or let your child choose a comfort item such as a favorite stuffy or blankie to help them feel safe and secure. Finally, the bedroom work starts about 10 to 15 minutes before bed. So this time is for quiet bonding. You want to look at reading one or two calm books, talking about the day, or sharing three things that you're grateful for. You can also use music, deep breathing, or a gentle massage if your child enjoys that. And then end with each consistent goodnight phrase or song to leave the nightlight or the door slightly open if needed for that comfort. A few tips for success maybe to like stick to that same bedtime routine and wake up time every day, even on the weekends again, and keep the bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. So remember to stay firm on your boundaries. This helps the child feel safe and know what to expect from you. Consistency is key, but routines are also rarely perfectly linear. So some of the nights will be off, and that's okay. We're just going to adjust the routine based on your family's culture and your child's individual needs. But over time, this structured and predictable approach will help children feel secure and improve sleep quality overall. And the bedtime routine. Bedtime routines work best when they're consistent and predictable, which can offer a sense of safety, but it's important to remember a few key points. In the same tone, staying firm with your boundaries, these really help set the expectations and give your child that sense of safety. If you're consistent, they're going to trust in you. Consistency again is key, but again, it's not linear. So we just have to be okay with those off nights. And it's just also important to recognize that these routines are very family specific. So we want to keep in mind cultural practices, individual needs, and household dynamics also play a role. Like having multiple children in the home is going to make this a little bit more difficult. So just adjust for what works best for you, your child, and your family. The goal is at the end of the day to create a calm, predictable environment to help your child wind down, feel secure, and transition to a restful sleep. Over time, these consistent practices will help build that sense of safety, improving that sleep quality, and support emotional regulation, even if it's not always smooth and perfect. We also wanted to share a little bit about moving into the use of declarative language at bedtime. So we've touched on this throughout the presentation, but we just want to share that the use of declarative language is when we are sharing information, observations, or thoughts without expecting anything from the child in response. So it's different from imperative language, which tells and directs a child what to do. For example, like go to bed now, stop playing. Those are all examples of imperative language. Using declarative language before bedtime can really help children feel safe, understood, and feel like they're in control. For example, instead of saying, brush your teeth now, you can say, I notice your toothbrush is on the counter and the toothpaste is ready. Or you could say something like, the lights are dimmed and it's quiet in your room. And this approach just helps guide and not prompting. It just helps the children tune into their routines and their surroundings, which can develop a sense of independence as well. And over time, the use of the declarative language at bedtime can reduce power struggles, promote cooperation, and really help smoother, calmer bedtime routines, and also helps with the development of dynamic intelligence. When supporting sleep routines using declarative language, this means talking about what's happening, what you're noticing, as we mentioned in the last slide, rather than directing so much. And this really helps, again, the child feel safe. So, for example, you might even say some other things like, we always put our pajamas on before bedtime, or it's getting dark outside, which means it's almost time for bed. And again, it's just drawing into those cues. What's happening around me? So they can be more aware of and observant of their environment. So these statements describe really what's happening rather than that direct command. So during this routine, you can guide them declaratively. I'm going to tuck a blanket around you. This helps keep you warm while you sleep. Or I'm putting the nightlight on. It's like a moon for our room. And these observations can just really help a child feel connected to their routine. If night disturbances happen, you can also use declarative language to help them feel supported, and also some validation. So things like, sometimes it's hard to fall asleep when we have a lot of thoughts, or just a reminder, I'm here with you. We can stay calm together. These statements acknowledge the child's feelings and also help provide that reassurance without pressure, supporting regulation for a smoother return to sleep. And overall, the use of declarative language again uses guides, not prompts, which really helps reduce those power struggles and helps your child feel in control and aware of what's required for their sleep routine.